Is he gonna swing with Sanji? Bro, why do people just keep quitting? Let me think about this, because I can go, he quits. Let's give him 2, we'll rest the Shanks, we'll get the 1 back. I can't believe how many people quit on Sugar. Wow, okay, GG's, GG's. GG's. All right, guys, welcome back to another one. I'm the Gold Standard, and today we are getting into it with another new leader from OP-10, Sugar. Now, my buddy and I each pulled the alternate art for this leader, and so we knew we had to at least build a deck for her. So shout out to my buddy Raul for putting this deck list together today that we're looking at. And guys, don't let Sugar's tiny little appearance fool you, because she is an absolute unit. She can tank anything, but she also does have the absolute fastest ramp in the game that I don't think many people are talking about, because she can technically get down a Shanks on turn 4 going first if you are on the odd curve. And I will show you exactly how to do that today. So if that sounds like something you're interested in playing, sit back, kick your feet up, and let's play some One Piece. All right, guys, so let's jump into the deck list and take a look at all the different parts of it. So first up, Sugar is a 4-life red-purple leader with 5k power who reads, end of your turn, if you have a character with the Don Quixote Pirates type with a power of 6,000 power or more, set up to 1 of your Don as active. So in particular, the only 4 cards in this deck that can activate that part of her ability are the new 8-cost Doflamingo, the 5-cost Rosinante, the 5-cost Senior Pink, and the 5-cost Diamante. And don't worry, I'll go over most of those cards here in a minute. But it should be noted that even if you have like an 8-cost Rayleigh or 10-cost Shanks down, you do not activate her ability because they are not Don Quixote Pirate type. And then her second effect, just like any good purple leader, is a ramp effect that reads, once per turn on your opponent's turn, when you activate an event, set up to 1 of your Don card from your Don deck as active. So you have to use an event card on your opponent's turn, and then you ramp a Don. And so that's why you'll see that we're playing 7 different event cards in this deck. So let's go through and break all the different parts of this deck down by use case so you know why they're in there and how to use them. All right, so up first we have the cards that offer ramp and Don manipulation. And so I'll break them down and you'll see what I mean by that. So obviously we first talked about the leader, and this is the alternate art, which obviously looks a lot better. But her effect is that you have to use an event card on your opponent's turn, and then you can ramp 1 Don. And I'll get into the event cards next so that you can see how to use that, but that's her mechanism of ramp. And so if you compare that to something like Purple Luffy, who is taking their own life and ramping on their turn, Sugar's interesting ability is that she actually ramps on your opponent's turn. And so you have to keep that in mind when you are playing this leader. Up next, we have the new 5-cost 6k Don Quixote Rosinante, who is a 1k counter that reads, on play, you may trash 1 event card from your hand and draw 2 cards. And so that's a very powerful draw mechanism in this deck to draw into cards that you need, because you can just pitch, different event cards, because we're playing so many, into the trash and draw 2 new cards. And then his second ability is end of your turn, if you have 7 or more Don cards on your field, set up to 2 of those cards as active. And so this is what I mean by Don manipulation, because at the end of your turn, if you have 7 Don, he just stands 2 back up. And then if you activate your leader ability, which reads end of your turn, if you have a Don Quixote Pirate type character with 6,000 power or more, you can set up to 1 card as active. So if you have Rosinante down and you have 7 Don active, you actually get to stand up 3 Don at the end of every single turn, which is insane. And that's why I mean this leader just tanks, because that gives you 3 Don to use for event cards every single turn. So up next in the ramp and Don manipulation, we have the new 8-cost 9k Don Quixote Doflamingo, who has no counter but reads, on play, Don -1, play up to 1 of your Don Quixote Pirate type characters with a cost of 5 or less from your hand, i.e. this new Rosinante. And then his second ability is, on your opponent's attack once per turn, you may rest 1 Don card and add a Don card from your Don deck as active. So if you play him on 8, you return 1 Don, and then let's say you play Rosinante down. Now, what happens on your opponent's turn is you now have 3 Don. You've technically ramped down to 7, but as soon as they attack, you can ramp back up to 8 because of the Doflamingo ability, which means that we are playing Shanks and you'll still be on curve to play a 10-cost Shanks on the following turn. But I will warn you, it isn't always an advantage to use that ability, because sometimes you actually want to play an event card and then have Sugar's ability ramp the card that you've returned to activate his ability. So guys, keep that in mind when you're playing it, and you'll see it in gameplays where I'm thinking about, should I use his ability here or not? And then finally for ramp, we have this 3-cost 1,000 power Baby 5, who is a 2k counter but reads, on play, you may trash 1 card from your hand. If your leader has the Don Quixote Pirates type, add 1 Don card from your Don deck and set it as active. And I will say that I don't use this card for ramp very often, but there is one very specific line of play, which I'll cover in the lines of play, where you would absolutely want to play her. And if you do have it, you can get a Shanks down on turn 4 going first. Cool, so those are all your ramp and Don manipulation options. Up next, let's just take a look at all the different event cards that you're using in this deck and why you would use them. And these event cards I've broken down into two categories. One are ones that you use for ramp, so you're using them with your leader ability to actually ramp. And the other I would categorize more as defense, because if you notice, a lot of them have Don -1. So then even with your leader ability, you're still just coming out even. So it's not necessarily ramp, but it is a way to use the card sort of for free. So up first in the ramp category, we have the 1 cost, I do not forgive those who laugh at my family. And this is a searcher event, which reads, look at the top 3 cards from your deck, reveal 1 Don Quixote Pirates type other than this card, and add it to your hand, and then place the rest at the bottom. Now, it should be noted that this search card can be used as a main or counter, and you really do want to be using it as a counter for the ramp option. And then the other 1 cost is the new Divine Departure, which is you may rest 5 of your Don cards, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 8,000 power or less, and then counter up to one of your leaders gains +3 power during this battle. And I should point out with Divine Departure, something that a lot of people mess up is it only gives 3,000 power to a leader, not a character. And so don't mess that up when you're playing, guys. So both of these can be used because they're not minusing Don down to activate your leader ability and actually ramp 1 Don. And you'll see when we get into the lines of play, but you typically want to use these on like your first or second turn to get the ramp off. Next up in the defense category, we have the 1 cost Blast Breath, who is Don -1. One of your leaders or characters gains +4,000 power during this battle. And this is a counter event, so you play it on their turn, give something +4,000 power, and technically your leader will re-ramp the Don that you have lost there. And what's nice about that is you can ramp down a rested Don, and then that gives you 1 more Don to use, so potentially another Blast Breath. So you want to keep those in mind when you are using this deck, because there's so many ways to bounce around these events. Next up, we have the 2 cost Slow Beam Sword, or the Nor Beam Sword, and it is another counter event that reads Don -1. Up to one of your leader or character cards gains +2,000 power during this battle, and then you can rest up to one of your opponent's characters. Just flat out rest a character. It doesn't matter the cost or anything. So you play this for 2, you burn your Don, and then you get it back with your leader ability, gain 2,000 power on a leader or character, and then rest some other big body on their field that you want to either stop from attacking or attack into on their next turn. And again, because of the ramp ability on Sugar, you can actually combine this and then ramp into a Blast Breath and give yourself like +6,000 power if you needed to. And so again, this is why I say this deck is so tanky. Next up, we have the 2 cost Red Hawk, which is up to one of your leaders or characters gains +4,000 power, and then you can KO a character with 4,000 power or less. This is just a great event card for defending a big attack, but also getting rid of maybe a pesky blocker or something on your opponent's field. But I will say another way that you can use that is you can combine it with this card, which is Judgment of Hell, or Hell's Judgment, which is a 2 cost counter that is Don -1. Give up to 2 of your opponent's leader or character cards -3,000 power during this turn. So if you play this first and we've already got like your 5 cost Rosinante down, that means that we ended our turn with 3 Don. And so you can use this, go down the 1 Don, re-ramp it with your Sugar ability, and then use Red Hawk and actually remove a 7,000 power body from the field because it's -3,000 power because of Hell's Judgment. And then this KOs a 4,000 power. So anything up to 7k, you can just remove on their turn, which is insane. And then I actually forgot 1 event card on this, which is the 2 cost 10-layer Igloo, which I'll put up here on the screen now. But it allows you to add 3,000 power to a character or leader, and then -2,000 power from one of your opponent's characters or leaders as well. And so if you use this, for instance, all on the same character, you can actually buff your leader by 3 and reduce the attacking character by 2, giving you a 5,000 power spread. Or what you can do is use it to defend something that's under the 3,000 counter that you need, and then reduce another thing to prevent them from attacking with it. Great card, guys, and honestly, I would like to run more of it just because it also doesn't have the Don -1, which you'll see is an important aspect of it later in this video. So anyways, guys, these are all the different event options that you have in this deck. And you can definitely play with the ratios. Like I'm using 2 Divine Departures right now, and I want to bump that up to 3 because I do like the early ramp it gives. But again, you guys play with the ratios. I'm just giving you what we're playing with now. Next up, this is a very important aspect of this deck, which is event recycling. And we have 2 cards that we use for that, which is the 3 cost 4,000 power Violet or Viola, and it's a 1k counter, but she is a blocker that is on KO. You can -1 Don, and if your leader has Don Quixote Pirates, which we do, you can add 1 purple event from your trash to your hand. And then we also have the 5 cost 6k Senior Pink, who is on play Don -1, add up to 1 purple event with a cost of 5 or less from the trash to your hand, and then set 1 of your Don cards as active. So both of these cards allow you to recycle all of the purple event cards in your trash. And I point out that they're only purple event cards, because I have made the mistake when first starting to play this deck that I had like a bunch of red event cards in my trash and I tried to recycle one and I was like, oh, what did I just do? And right now I'm only playing 6 of these total, and you could definitely play with those ratios because they are super useful for recycling those purple event cards. Cool, guys, so those are the main components of this deck. So now let's go into the different ideal curves and you can see how those different pieces work together. So at first, let's look at the even curve, because the odd curve, you actually need to understand how the ramp effects work so that you can really understand how to maximize it. So in the even curve, on turn 1, we are at 2 Dawn. A great opening turn is to play your 1-cost Searcher Sugar, but not use her, because you want to keep 1 Dawn up going into your opponent's turn because they're going up to 3, and so they'll swing into you most likely, and you can use one of your 2 1-cost events to ramp. And so that's why I say on turn 1, you play Sugar, and then you're going to ramp, and this ramp is technically on their turn. So when you come into turn 2, you're technically at 5 Dawn, and you have 2 options here. You can either play one of your 5-cost characters, so Rosinante, Senior Pink, or Diamante. And the nice thing about those is that they will activate your leader ability, so you'll end this turn and get the 1 Dawn standing. But if you don't have another 1-cost event card to ramp on this turn, another good option is to just play something like this Viola or Violet blocker, because it leaves you with 2 Dawn up. And then more often than not, you'll have a 2-cost event card in your hand that you can use on their turn when they attack in, so that you can ramp again going into turn 3. And if you can ramp both of these turns, you'll actually come up to turn 3 at 8 Dawn, which is absolutely insane. And you can drop either one of these 8-cost characters that you are playing in this deck. And both of these are perfectly good options, because if their board isn't super fleshed out, the 8-cost Doflamingo is great because he builds your board, so you can go 8-cost into your 5-cost Rosinante. Or if they've got a bunch of stuff on their board and you need to remove it or make it weaker, Rayleigh is great for doing that because he gets the removal and he'll reduce things for a full cycle back into your next turn. And honestly, if stuff is already reduced because of Rayleigh, it's so easy to counter out of with this deck. It makes their attacks like non-existent. And then if you hit this curve just right, by turn 4, you're dropping your Shanks. And then guys, if you hit a turn 4 Shanks and you have a board that's like Shanks, 8-cost Doflamingo, maybe 2 of these Rosinantes because you've played a second one off of this, and a blocker or something like that, like no one's gonna survive that. And you can also just defend yourself so heavily because you're just getting all this Dawn to use event cards on your turn. Nothing is leaving your board unless it's direct removal. So guys, this is the ideal even curve, and it's important to know where you ramp so that when you're playing this deck, you can maximize your event cards. And now let's go into the odd curve, guys. But before we do that, if you are getting any value out of this, please do not forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It really does help the channel out. And if you are looking for other ways to support this channel and you already are planning on buying cards, I do have a TCG player link where I get a small percentage of whatever you purchase. Currently, we're sitting at about $65 in the account. And once this hits 100, I plan on using it to buy a box of whatever the newest set is and then just give it away on the channel. So guys, if you want to use the code, great. If not, no worries. I already appreciate all the support you're showing just by watching the video. Now let's get back into it. All right, guys, so we are back in it with the ideal odd curve. And I call this the God curve because if you do this right, guys, there is actually a way to play a turn 4 Shanks going odd, which means that you actually, as Sugar, have potentially the fastest ramp in the game. So here's how this would look. Turn 1, we're at 1 Dawn, and you're gonna play your Searcher. And just like in the last curve, you might not even end up searching with her, but it's always nice to have the Searcher down and have the option to grab cards if you need them. Now turn 2, this is where the magic happens, guys, because you're at 3 Dawn coming into turn 2. And so what you can do is you can play the baby 5 that allows you to trash a card from hand and ramp, and she brings that 1 Dawn as active. So then when you finish this turn, you're actually finishing at 4. And if they attack into you, you can then use one of these 1-cost search events like, you know, your Searcher or Divine Departure, and you can actually ramp a second time. So you get the 1 ramp from baby 5, and then you actually get a second ramp on their turn, which will bring you up to 5. So then when you go into turn 3, you're actually at 7 Dawn. And now on turn 3, you can play any of your 5 costs, and then you can leave the 2 Dawn up, and you'll probably get a third one back even from your Sugar ability, because if you play a 5 cost, you trigger that. So now you have 3 Dawn to actually defend with, and if you have either Red Hawk, 10-layer Igloo, or another one of the 1-cost events that don't make you drop Dawn, you can actually ramp again, which will bring you to 8 and sets the stage for going into turn 4 at 10 Dawn. And now I will call this the God curve because you need all the perfect parts in your hand to make this work, but there actually actually not that unachievable, because really all you need is a baby 5, 2 of these 1-cost events, or just 1 of these and a 2-cost event, and then Shanks. And that's it. Like if you have those in your opening hand, or you draw into them off life, or just top decking them, you can do this curve and it's totally achievable, guys. So I highly recommend trying to make it work, because if you get Shanks on turn 4, they're technically only coming up to 8 Dawn on their turn. So they're not even close to getting something down that can handle this. So guys, try it out. And if any of you actually makes this work in the comments, let me know, because I've been trying and I've come very close on several gameplays, but there's always like one missing card. Like I don't have a Shanks or a baby 5 or something like that. So please guys, try and make this work and let me know in the comments. Cool guys, so that's all I've got for Sugar here. I really do hope it helps. And I do hope you guys try this leader out, because she is a ton of fun and she really catches people off guard, especially if you can get those Shanks down quickly. And again, guys, if one of you hits that God curve, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear about it, especially if you can actually do it in person at like your locals or something like that. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And let's get into some gameplay. All right, we are in it with a Shanks. They take first, which is good for us. I don't like this hand at all. This hand is marginally better. I mean, we have the Searcher. The problem is I don't have a turn 1 way to ramp. The only way I can do it is I can do it with Red Hawk, because then we can go into this, start spooling stuff up. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna have to do. I don't want to do that, but I need to ramp. Otherwise, Shanks will just run us over. Okay. Let's see what he puts down. Nothing for 3. Okay. We got to try and attack. I know you just always have to do it against Shanks. Sometimes they forget. Sometimes many things can happen. Let's go here and the turn. Unfortunately, here we only get the 1 Dawn back, so we can't actually ramp again. I was hoping to get to Rayleigh soon, but it doesn't look like we will. We'll take this. That kind of helps us actually, because we can get to... Interesting that he plays this. I don't think that card's very good right in this deck right now. I mean, yeah, it replaces itself, but he didn't save the Dawn. So, like, you have to play it on 6. All right, anyway. Okay, so let's go here. Search. I want to get an 8 cost if I can. Bottom decking this feels bad right now. This is fine. We'll use this anyway. Let's go 5. Let's go 7. Okay. And let's drop in Resonante. I'm tempted to use his thing. Well, I should have used it before I searched, so I'm not going to bother now. Okay. Since we have Viola, I might just use... Let's grab an 8 cost. God, still nothing. I'm going to take... I can't take that, dang it. 2K. I'm going to take another Viola. Yeah, he can have that. I'm assuming Zoro comes in for some amount. 5. I'm going to take that. Beckmond. We do have another one of these, and we have a Viola. So I think that's what we're going to do here. And that gives us 2 Dawn to work with. This is going to replace itself, so... And it'll replace itself with a 6 cost, or a 6,000 power. So I think I'm just going to leave this in play for now. So let's go 7/7. I could also Rayleigh here. Yeah, I think that's what we do. So let's go 7. We'll do another 7. Give us 2K. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to Rayleigh. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to KO this. I know it sounds crazy, friends. But I think that will be better. Because then it just takes a lot of Dawn to use these guys. 5 here. I think not. Yeah, we'll give him a 1. He probably plays a Rayleigh back, I'm assuming. Maybe. It would have been nice to have 2 Dawn up. I could have used that to KO this, but I didn't plan the Dawn out, honestly. That would have been a pretty sweet little move. Yeah, he attacks anyway. So take that. Rush Luffy. There's 6 here. Do we take this? Yeah, I think we have to. Yeah. Okay, so we need to save 2 Dawn up. So we play this. Actually, we don't need the 2 Dawn because then we have 3 to work with. So let's go 6 at life. Okay. Problem is he has quite a bit of attacking pressure on us this next turn. I think here, because I can only go 7, so we have to go for life. I think it's more beneficial because he can just reduce it, do a 2K. Okay, Red Hawks us. So we go here. I might as well trash something. I'll trash this. That's not terrible. We'll put this into play too, should we? We're definitely going to Viola here. And so we'll get 3 back. So let's go here. And we'll end the turn. I could have actually done the Red Hawk to get rid of this again. That would have been a sweet little combo. A sweet little ditty. Let's go here. Let's do this. Kind of want a Red Hawk and just KO one of these 2. I guess probably this one because he's... it doesn't really matter. KO this guy. Nah, we just 2K out here? Yeah, we got a 2K. Yeah. Because then I'll KO whichever one of these doesn't attack. I guess I got a 2K again. Because maybe he goes Shanks here? I think, because if I go this, he only has 1 more attack. Yeah, so let's go here. We'll go here. Get rid of him. Because does he go Shanks or does he just attack everything on here and go for life and get us down to 0? Ooh, he only goes 6 there. That's actually great. Okay. 7 Beckman gets rid of maybe this. Rush Luffy. Another 2. Okay. Yep. Take that. Okay. Okay. We get our Shanks. Oh, man. That is very interesting. Is it enough to help us through this? Because then he gets 2 attackers next turn potentially. Because we need to get rid of these guys for sure. Because I can keep my blocker up potentially. So yeah, let's go ahead. We'll try this. Okay. Let's go here. Let's go here. Hopefully we get him with this one. Dang. Let's go. Let's try and get him again. If he has a 2K, we're cooked. He does not. Okay. I mean, he can still stack his Dawn up perfectly to do this. But, I mean, it takes planning. Because, like, really, if he just, you know, puts a bunch of Dawn on here and swings over. Okay, so he's going for 8 here. Interesting. Because I can use this, get back. Nah, we have to use Hell's Judgment here. Get this back. Yeah. Okay, rush. And then into this one. So we pretty much have to block here. We'll get the card action. And we'll take a Hell's Judgment. And this guy's down to 1 card. So let me think about this, because we can go, what, 7? We might be able to get him here. I mean, we have to go for game because I don't have a blocker, unfortunately. So if we go 8, 9, 9, 9, 12, maybe. It's a big maybe. Also like 7 here because he has 1. I mean, if it's a 2K, he can reduce this to 6 and just go in on us. So like immediately that's a huge gamble. So I think we have to go here. And then we go 3. That gives us 9. I mean, if these are both 2Ks, let's go 3. Let's try it. Okay. Then we go 9, 10, 12. And hopefully that's enough. I have a good feeling about it. Dang, GG's, GG's. Man, that was so close. GG's, GG's. All right, so we're in it with an Usopp. They took second from us, which is, it's not great, it's not terrible. I don't think I'd keep this hand. This is better. This is definitely better. Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Let's go 7. 7 lead. Got to get that aggro push going right now while we can. Start building up. Guess another one of these ain't bad. I'll take it. That's great, actually. Okay. 6 here, so we'll be at 8 next turn. So I think we just go 6 again. Drop in a Rocinante. This will be good for a later turn, or our next turn potentially. Do I want to trash anything to draw the cards right now? I think Blast Breath, it's good, but I'm gonna try it. Nice, nice. Yeah. So unfortunately, we only get the 1 Dawn back right now because we're at 6. But I do have a 2K. He's gonna get the card draw from this. So that's 7. Let me think. Do I want to counter that one or whatever he does here? Yeah, we'll take this because this turn I'll go here. We'll KO this bad boy. Red Hawk, good. I mean, I could have used that on here. Let me think. Do we need another one of these? Well, we'll see what he puts in. I'm gonna have to burn my 2K because there's a potential to use this guy still, playing it off of this. Rebecca, maybe Zoro, but doesn't get the removal. I'm not sure. Frankie. So we can go, so we go Rayleigh for sure. We KO the Frankie, reduce the Cav and attack into it. Yeah. Yeah, go 3, 2. Yeah. Get rid of you. Gets to draw a card, sure. Or not draw a card, put something in. I mean, hopefully he counters this. That'd be great. He does. That's crazy. Okay. Cool. I'll take it. I'll take it. Because we can KO this with a Red Hawk. And then a 2K counter. I need a 2K. I don't get one. But I do get 2 1K counters. And I think... Do I even care to? Because he's got 2 Dawn, so I can just Shanks next. The problem is that I can't use... Yeah, you can have that. Because we'll play this into this, and then we'll play Shanks next turn. And we've got a decent amount of... Yeah, okay. That's good. Let me think about this, because then we go... So we'll get 3 Dawn back. What's in here? Trash. Nothing. So I don't really want Viola yet. Viola. So we'll get the 3 back from him. So let's go 7, 8. Sure. Yeah, this will be okay. Assuming he just blocks this. He does not. That's awesome for us because do I want to get rid of one of these to draw some cards? I think the igloo I could part with because this is sort of the same. Yeah, let's go ahead. Yeah, cool. Yeah, we'll end the turn. Go here and here. Because on this turn, like I can Red Hawk, I can get this guy out of here. We'll ramp and then I can potentially do something else. Because we're at 9, yeah. Because then I can ramp, we'll get the 2. So we'll see what he does here. I can also just Rayleigh again next turn. Okay. So how many has he got in trash? So he can restand this. We don't want that. Because if this attacks into here, I'm just going to go ahead and take this. Because if this attacks into us and then restands, can't do anything. And he can attack one of these. No, so let's Red Hawk here. We'll get rid of this guy. Gain the Dawn. Yeah, because we'll see what he does with this. Nothing. Yeah, that's what I was hoping. Because I can just reduce it. I can also play Shanks here, make it weaker. If he has that double swing event in hand, that could be a problem for us. But I think if we just attack all in here and use Shanks at the end, like there's nothing this guy's gonna do, right? Am I just being crazy here? Well, we'll see. Because I can also Rayleigh. Yeah, never mind. We'll go Shanks. GG's, because he did have that event. That's what I was worried about. Because I was like, if he has this in hand, he could absolutely cook us with this guy, which is why I was thinking about Rayleighing here at the end. Yeah, GG's, GG's. Just rolled that Usopp. GG's, GG's. All right, we are in it with a smoker. Let's try second. Get them off curve. That we definitely can't do this. Yeah, we'll mulligan that. Okay. Interesting. Oh, perfect. Yeah, perfect, perfect. I wish we were going first because this is like the opening hand for first. But we should be okay here. Let's see. Do I want to play anything? Nah. We'll drop this, get the search off. I mean, I pretty much have to take this. This isn't terrible either. But the thing is, we're going to ramp to 8 so fast. So let's take this, because then we can go into here, yeah. Gain a Dawn. And I think, yeah, I'll take this one. Yeah, we should have taken the sugar. So he's got a blocker down now. Ooh, even this is good too. So the problem is here, I can do 2 things. One, I could not play this, and we can ramp. I can do a double ramp, which I think is the move here. So let's go here. I won't need 2 of those Dofies, so we'll pitch 1. Gain the active Dawn. I need to save 2, so we'll save 2 for Red Hawk. Yeah, yeah, this will be okay. Because we're at 6. I mean, we didn't necessarily have to ramp with Baby 5 there. But then I would have had to leave Dawn up and ramp with one of these 2. And I didn't feel like it. Big swing, huh? Let's go ahead. Well, let me think. Do we even ramp here then? I'm at 6. I'll already be at 8 with these 2, which I feel like is fine. So I'll just take it. Because then we're at Shanks, double Shanks. Yeah, this is good. Kind of weird to do it that way, but sure. And we're going to have to ramp because well, no, we won't have to ramp. Never mind. Yeah, so we'll go here. We're going to use this. We'll go here. Do I want to trash anything? Do we trash a Red Hawk here? Yeah, I guess I trash a Red Hawk. Not bad, not bad. Let's go 5. Okay. End the turn. We will get his and hers. We'll get the 1 Dawn back from Dofi here. And then we can just counter out of everything. I don't even really need his ability. I mean, it's nice, but we're going to ramp also off of leader ability. And I'm going to KO this with a Red Hawk. So they are at 7 Dawn. Beckman, KO. Okay, that's fine. Let me think about this, because what I could do is I can go double Red Hawk, or do this and KO this. Or let's use the card action. Let's go ahead and we'll use this. Gain the 1 Dawn. We're at 9. Yeah, I think this is fine. Because we'll still get 1 Dawn back for her. It's unfortunate that we won't get 2 because, you know, we lose. I mean, we just pretty much have to go Shanks, 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 Shanks here. I thought about using Hell's Judgment and KOing Beckman there. Maybe that was the move. Okay, let's go 9. All right. See, now I'm almost tempted to not do a Shanks right here. Like I could maybe draw another. Nah, we'll go Shanks. It doesn't make sense not to. Because this guy's only a 6. And then we have 2 more Shanks. Like, we just have to do it. Okay. So what do you do? Stack all this Dawn on here and attack into Shanks? A 7, huh? I mean, obviously I can't let you do that. Ah, he quit. Oh, man. He didn't even hit 10 Dawn. Like... Poor guy. I mean, I had 2 more Shanks coming down. That was bad. Whew. Well, GG's, GG's.